Hi everyone. When buying a hockey stick for yourself or buying a hockey stick for someone else, you have a lot of decisions to make. Hopefully this video will help answer some questions you may have. Although there's loads of bow types on the market and they vary massively, the main two are a low bow and a mid bow. At Crown we only have two bow models because we're keeping it simple and we think those are the two clear choices. We have a low bow and a mid bow. And generally speaking, mid bows end up having their peak height in the middle of the length of the stick, and low bows have their peak height much lower down in the hockey stick. Mid bows make it simple to just trap the ball and play hockey. Mid bows feel like a flatter stick and tend to be easier to control with. Often people much prefer it with things like sweeping passes and making tackles because the bow shape is very uniform. Most goalkeepers go for mid bows and it's because of this predictability. It's more like a plank, it's flatter, the curvature is drawn out over the length of the stick, so goalkeepers can predict it well. The mid bow is becoming less common because the low bow is more favourable for people that want to do 3D skills. It helps you to perform aerials and just generally getting the ball up in the air because you've got a greater loft angle, and it's way better for doing drag flicks with. Those are more sexy skills that people are into now. But it's down to personal preference, different stick types. The FIH currently have a 2.5 centimetre indentation limit, where the peak of your bow resting on a table can only be 2.5 centimetres. Most top-end hockey sticks usually push that limit and are something very close to 2.5. This is a low bow that you're looking at now, and the peak bow height is 24.6, and that's 235 millimetres from the head. Bow choices can be paramount to how you perform sometimes. This customer sent in a video. After assessing his swing, we realised he was playing with a mid bow, but he was really trying to shoot into the top corners, which meant that with a mid bow he had to really lean back hard, really get under the ball, dig into the ground, and he was constantly striking into the ground before hitting the ball, which meant that he was really wearing away the back reverse bit of his stick and putting in a lot of power into his shots where most of it was lost from hitting the ground. Since then he switched to a low bow. He can now pick out top corners a lot easier, and his sticks are lasting longer and his shots are more powerful. The same can be said with a low bow, where people that are constantly hitting the ball too high, giving difficult passes that really don't need to be picking out top corners because maybe they play slightly further back in the pitch or they rarely do shots. It would be easier for them to play with a mid bow because they'd have more control over their passing. Their passing would generally be lower as well, and they'd be giving their teammates an easier time with their passes. So it goes both ways, and there's pros and cons for different ones, and I think it's more about your playing style maybe than where you play on the pitch actually. If you're ever unsure and you're still desperately confused over many things, you can always send us an email or give us a call. We're pretty hot at replying to people on Facebook and Instagram. If you really want a tailored experience as well, send us in some videos of you hitting some hockey balls at goal or making some passes, doing some dribbling. Bring up some things that you may wish to get better at. Maybe share with us some problems that you're currently having with your sticks at the moment. And we'll take a look at it and we'll start a conversation with you and get the best stick for your game.